Hi guys, hope y'all had a fabulous break, and for all of you, we are glad you are back, either with us in person or online. Today I'm going to read you a story about how animals stay warm in the wintertime. As most of you know, it is now wintertime and it's getting cold outside. So we know how we stay warm, but do you know how animals that live around us and some that maybe don't live so close to us stay warm? Well, this book's going to tell us about that. It says, how animals keep warm. Do frogs drink hot chocolate? This story was written by Etta Kaner and illustrated by John Martz. What do you think? Do you think frogs drink hot chocolate to stay warm? Sounds kind of silly to me. When it gets cold out, do animals turn up the heat? No. So how do they survive the chilly weather? Let's find out. Do frogs drink hot chocolate to keep warm? No. Some frogs don't even try to keep warm. The Alaskan wood frog turns into a frogsicle. It spends the winter with most of its body frozen. When the air warms up, the frog warms up too. Do penguins snuggle with a friend? Yes. In winter, thousands of emperor penguins come together in a giant huddle. It's warm in the middle, but cold on the outside. So what do? The penguins shuffle. Taking small steps, they slowly change places. That way, they all get a turn in the middle where it's the warmest. Do butterflies sunbathe? Yes. Butterflies can't fly if they are cold, and they can't make their own heat. So what do? They catch some rays. If it's cold, a butterfly will sit on a rock or log and stretch its wings. Then the sun warms it up, its flight muscles, so it can fly again. Do foxes wear earmuffs? No. Arctic foxes have small, furry ears. The fur helps, but so does the size. Ears stick out into the cold air. A fox's body can lose heat that way. Smaller ears don't stick out as much as big ears, so they lose less heat. Do turtles jump up and down to keep warm? No. Many turtles will burrow into the mud and dead leaves at the bottom of a pond. The water there is cold, but it never freezes. It usually stays at about 39 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the perfect temperature for turtles who like to snooze while they wait for spring. When they burrow, they dig a small hole into the ground and then go inside of it. Do polar bears build homes? Yes, they do. Mama polar bears build dens, but not with wooden hammers. Instead, a mama bear uses her sharp claws to dig out a cave in the snow. When it's finished, she crawls inside to have her babies. The den keeps them all safe and warm until spring. Do whales wear snowsuits? No. Whales have blubber under their skin. This layer of fat keeps their body heat in and the cold out. Whale blubber can be up to 12 inches thick. That's about as long as a ruler. It also stores energy, so whales can keep going for a long time without eating. Do squirrels curl up under blankets? Yes. Well, sort of. Squirrels have built-in blankets. When it's cold out, they wrap their long, bushy tails around themselves so that body heat won't escape. And that's not all. As the temperature drops, less blood flows into their tails. Instead, it stays in their bodies to help keep them warm. Do monkeys take hot baths to keep warm? Yes. These Japanese macaws love to take warm baths. There are places in Japan where hot water bubbles up naturally from the ground to form pools. After playing in the snow, the macaws will jump into these hot pools to warm up. Do turritera sit by a campfire? No, turritera bodies cannot make heat, but birds' bodies can. So what does a turritera do? It has a sleepover with a tiny bird called a fairy pyron. The heat from the bird helps keep the turritera from getting too chilly overnight. Do honeybees use teamwork? Yes. In the winter, honeybees form a cluster around the queen bee. Queen bee's the big one in the middle. Then they shiver together. By vibrating their wing muscles, they raise the air temperature in the hive. This keeps the queen toasty warm. How do bees have energy for all this shivering? Well, they eat honey. Do birds fly south? Yes and no. In winter, some birds fly south in search of food and warmth. Other birds survive wintry weather by eating as much as they possibly can. This gives their bodies energy to keep warm. Feathers help too. When they're fluffed up, they trap warm air next to the bird's skin. All of the animals in this book have special ways to survive the cold. But what about you? What do you do to keep warm? I hope you enjoyed that book, boys and girls. I learned a lot of cool things about some of the animals that I had no idea about. So remember how you keep warm. Well, now that we're in wintertime, make sure that when you go outside that you wear a nice heavy coat, you wear gloves, a hat, and if you have a scarf, you can put that on as well. And I hope that you have a good rest of the day. See you tomorrow, friends. Bye-bye.